Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is my first video. I'm Eisen. I'm going to be doing gun reviews on this channel. So what I have for you today is a product from Metro Arms imported by TriStar, the American Classic 2. This one in particular happens to be chambered in 10mm, my favorite caliber. Everybody has their own, but this is the first time I'm opening this since the shop, just to check it out, make sure everything was okay, nothing was broken or missing or whatever. So let's get into it here. First, you have a little chintzy gun lock, not a big deal, whatever. It is a very nice case. There's slots for other magazines and whatnot. Looking at it though, it only comes with one magazine by the looks of it. Let's take it out of the wrapper here. Yep, just one mag in the box. Looks probably like a 9-rounder in 10mm, and then the firearm. We will do a safety check real quick. Nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag well. It seems to be a pretty solidly made firearm. There's a ton of oil on this. I'm gonna close this just to get it out of the way. So let's look at what we're getting here. Very nice finish. As you can see, it's got the mirror polish on the sides, and then it is not mirror polish on top, probably for less glare on you, I'll assume. Very, very nice grips. I really like the grain in this wood. Looks to be Cocobolo. It might be something else, I'm not sure. I do really like the scale pattern in it. It's a very pretty pattern. One thing though I noticed, they are very, very slick. There's not a whole lot of grip to them. Maybe if you were squeezing real hard, not sure, but you know, they're very good looking. I might add some striations into them later on just to make them, you know, get a little more purchase on the firearm. All right, so let's go over the features of the gun. You have extended slide stop, extended safety, which is nice. I do enjoy extended on both. You have a very prominent extended magazine release. Very handy, especially with 1911 grips that don't have a cutout there. Just makes it a bit easier for grabbing onto those. Nice Novak style sights, white dot, front and back. Extended beaver tail, and then a really nice, I like the design on the inside of their skeletonized hammer. Pretty nice overall. This is the 5-inch model. I believe it comes in a commander size too, but I don't think it is 10mm in the commander size. So I like 10mm. I haven't owned one in quite a few years, but luckily I had some extra 1911 mags in 10mm. I got 2 Wilson Combats. They're probably the best of the best. And then I have a very old Metgar that has some rust on it, so I'm gonna have to clean that up and see how it works. And then it comes with one, I believe this is a Metgar as well. They look very similar. It's just this one has a nice bumper on it. Yep, it's a hard rubber instead of plastic bumper on it. Different followers, so it might not be a Metgar. Not 100% sure, but we'll see how it runs. Everybody knows 1911s are finicky. They can be very finicky. Some are, some aren't. I have another 1911 I'm going to do another video on. It's got well over 1,000 rounds, and I haven't cleaned it. Not a single malfunction. Like I said, some are finicky, some aren't. Let's get back into this one though. No flared magwell. Not a huge deal. I could probably throw one on it. The trigger on this has very nice serrations on the face of the trigger. You get a very good purchase on it. Trigger pull, you know, check it. It is safe. There's no ammunition in this. There's no magazine or anything. Trigger pull, we'll say really good reset. Probably between 5 and 6 pounds, 6.5 pushing it maybe. But pretty nice trigger out of the box. I'll probably polish up the internals when I tear this apart and clean it today, because if you can see, there is a lot of oil on this, so it's gonna get a full cleaning today. I've been carrying 1911s for the better part of the last decade. I love 1911s, always have. I like other guns too, don't get me wrong. You know, I've carried Glock, I've carried Kimbers, I've carried Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauers, and then even when I first started carrying handguns, I carried some more embarrassing options that you could get out there. But I've pretty much dialed in on 1911s fell in love with them. My first one was a Rock Island 1911, full size 45 with a full dust cover rail, everything. It was a very big and heavy handgun, but that was my first 1911, which happened to be my second handgun that I ever owned. Since then, I've owned dozens and dozens of handguns. Got a little bit of a problem when it comes to buying and selling guns. Not in the last couple of years, but anyway. There's no front serrations on this. I wish there were. I could probably have them put in. I have a local gunsmithing shop nearby. That could probably do them. If you guys hear the clicking, clicky, clackety all around, it's my dog Nova. She's very noisy. But yeah, so I will do another review on this at the range probably next week. It is getting quite cold here in northern Michigan, but can still shoot. It's not a big deal. And we'll get this. We'll try to get it broken in. We'll get it we'll probably do some group testings too. I do want to see what it hits at 25 and then probably 50 meters. Just to see what kind of range it can accurately reach out and touch to. If I do end up using this for hunting, I'm going to want to know. And then I have quite a bit of ammo to choose from. We got just some range ammo. I thought this was range ammo at first. It is PPU, which I've used many times on the range, not in the last few years though, but it is their defense line. I've never seen their defense line before. And I saw the price on these is $26 a box for 50 rounds of 10 millimeter. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. It's probably just some jacketed hollow points. Didn't think too much of it. Or not jacketed hollow points, but FMJs. But they turned out to be jacketed hollow points with a pretty good looking hollow point. 180 grain, doesn't have any advertised muzzle velocity, sadly, so I'm not sure how fast these are going to be shooting. I'm going to try to get a chronograph out. I have a friend who has one, so we'll see if I can get a chronograph out and see what kind of speeds we're getting out of these for muzzle velocity, feet per second. And then another company I have never heard of, Ammo Incorporated. I saw these at the local Dunham's today, and I was like, well, let's try them out. Why not? 10 millimeter, 180 grain TMCs, full metal jackets. Their advertised muzzle velocity is 1190, which is pretty good. I'm hoping that that it holds up to that 1190 and not, just advertise at 1190. It says at 50 yard velocity it's still going 1100 feet per second, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of drop to this, with 484 foot-pounds of energy at 50 yards. So I mean that's perfectly capable of stopping something, but I believe they're just full metal jackets. Yep, just flat point full metal jackets. Really, really nice looking boxes that they come in though. We also have the old school cheaper S&B. A lot of people use this as range ammo. I've noticed lower, lighter recoil with these. I believe they have just less powder in them than your average range ammunition. And then when it comes for personal defense, I have two options that I'm going to try out there. I have Sig Sauer V Crowns in 10 mil. Love Sig V Crowns. I carried it in my 45 for a long time. Still carry it in my 45. And then my all-time favorite, which is Federal HST in 10 millimeters. These things they excel so well, and they do really good. Just as a disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by anybody. This is just my personal opinion on this ammunition, from testing and carrying and shootability of the round itself. Recoil's a little snappy in these, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I like large caliber handguns. Again, I like handgun hunting and everything, so we'll hit a review on this at the range probably next week. Today I'm going to get it all cleaned up and ready to go. We'll get some good oils in it and whatnot instead of this packing stuff. And I'll see you guys then. Always practice safety with your firearms. Never play with them. They're not toys. And just be safe out there. Have a nice day.